Cartel, my people, my babies, my dogs. What's going on, y'all boys, man? Y'all already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Golden Ghost, and welcome back to the Golden Ghost Cartel Dude Baby Boy. And today I was going to drop a Virtua Fighter gameplay, but as fate would have it, Virtua Fighter has came out with a lot of new information that marks very high hopes for the future of Virtua Fighter with their recent VF Direct. Now, if you're here, then it's likely that you already seen the Direct, but in case you haven't, I will put footage in the background alongside like giving you guys a few spark notes. They revealed Wolf Hawkfield with a new design where bro quite literally looks like Ganondorf from Legend of Zelda. Like, I really look forward to hearing Ganon come down the ramp talking about "here comes my suplex" and hitting people with the Hyrule Valley driver. But I digress, bro. They also confirmed some theories about there being like an actual dynamic story for these characters, since, you know, the same people that are behind the newer VF is also responsible for the Yakuza games. So a lot of people already kind of predicted this would be the case, but it's nice to know from the horse's mouth that backstories and motivations to give these characters more depth is being like a focal point in the game, which could potentially mean there will be a lot more to offer offline than, you know, to keep people who aren't just online warriors engaged with the game. Only time will tell for that though, you know. That's about where the VF6 news ends though, because we go back to VF5 REVO. You know, this game is now going multi-platform with crossplay, bro. And they're holding an open tournament circuit. You know, that's kind of similar to like the Tekken World Tour or Capcom Cup with a grand prize of 100K, bro. I'm talking big boy bands, baby. It ain't no couple mil. They don't got no Saudi money or nothing like that, but it's still big boy bands, bro. 100K is nothing. That's nothing to scoff at, you know. And more or less, that was like the entire thing in a nutshell, bro. Now, me personally, I was for the most part impressed with what was given to us, bro. But I have seen a few content creators and peers, you know, not to call anyone out because that's not what I'm trying to do, but I've seen quite a few people, you know, that were kind of left disappointed with what was given to us. And I believe a good chunk of that was because of simply the name of the announcements, VF Direct. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, just to, you know, make stuff up, bro. We're in an era where you hear things like direct in terms of like gaming, and you're like expecting to get like a ton of reveals and a ton of content for the game or the console that you're watching, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely think that just the name alone of this got people's hopes up to where we was going to get a ton of reveals, a ton of new lore drops on characters, maybe a couple of character reveals, a new gameplay trailer for Wolf, and really just a bunch of Virtua Fighter 6 related content. Whereas instead, all we really got was a reveal and a confirmation it was working on dynamic storytelling. Now, one thing I can't agree with this criticism right here. They shouldn't have revealed Wolf before the Direct, bro. If they had nothing else to really show for him besides the alternate skin with the jacket on, they really should have saved that for the Direct itself, bro. Because that made that part of the presentation seem like a waste, and I just feel like it really would have been better if they saved it for a Direct itself instead of revealing it the day before, man. I think with it being a Direct and it only being 13 minutes long, with the most important news on hand for VF6 being something already a day prior that people are privy to, you know, it made that part of the Direct tedious. But the important question that I really need to ask now is, what were y'all really expecting to hear from what was y'all expecting to hear from VF6 at this current point in time, bro? Like, honestly. You know, did you expect to receive like a gameplay reveal or explanation of mechanics? You know, because I'll be honest, I don't think none of that was in the cards from the get-go to be revealed. And the reason why I say that is, like, bro, look at the last bit of gameplay that they did show, you know, 5 months ago. The last gameplay they showed wasn't even a real player-to-player gameplay. What we got was basically TAS, tool-assisted gameplay. And all that was doing was to display like a proof of concept on what they want to go for. Like, that's not even alpha gameplay footage. That's just a proof of concept to show the investors and stuff. Now, they did a power move by they did a power move by showing that off as the proof of concept after already revealing that they were working on it. That was a power move. But with that being the thing that they showed, that tells me that the gameplay is not ready to be shown yet. And if they did try to show something now, or even try to show something a couple months out from now, I feel like it will be rushed. It would either be rushed, or it wouldn't reflect what the final gameplay product would look like. And either one of those is not good. I'm much happier knowing that they're going to take their time with this instead of just trying to drive hype, because other fighting games are currently screwing up right now, bro. I'm not even gonna get into which ones. If you know, you know. Certain fighting games are screwing up right now, bro. And if we're going to reveal gameplay, bro, I want it to be good. I want it to be done correctly, and I want it to be something that both the players and the devs are happy with. You know, first impressions are everything. I do not want them to mess this up, so please take as much time as you need. You know, the other major reason, you know, that should be a given as to why, you know, we're not getting too much Virtua Fighter 6 info at the moment is because the game is nowhere near ready, period. You know, not just the gameplay, but in all aspects. And the reason why I say this with such confidence is because they're still showing massive dev support to REVO. The moment I seen they went cross-platform with crossplay, I instantly knew, yeah, we're going to be playing REVO for quite a little bit before 6 comes out, bro. It's clear there's a lot of things that REVO is being used as testing grounds for. First, they launched it on PC with rollback netcode, which I'm not gonna lie, they kind of botched it. They kind of botched the PC release of this, you know, but they spent plenty of time implementing and updating the netcode for this game to make it better, to improve upon it. They've been constantly trying to improve upon it. Now they're about to release it on all platforms and going to test the cross-play functionality between all the platforms from there on top of the rollback netcode. So it's like, while Virtua Fighter 6 doesn't even have an official name yet, because keep in mind, we've been calling it VF6, but it is really just New VF Project. That's what they've been calling it for so long. We don't even have an official name for this game yet. Meanwhile, REVO's been working as a functioning testing system for this entire game, from the functionality to driving interest from the game, bro. And both of these updates for REVO confirms that. Because now we're going multi-platform and crossplay, and we're getting a tournament with a grand prize of 100K. It's clear what they're trying to do. It's for these reasons that I'm not mad about seeing too much from Virtua Fighter 6 at all, bro. You know, the team is still putting massive efforts into REVO. You know, we just got to look at the bigger picture, because off of this direct, I feel like we're going to see the new VF come with rollback, crossplay on all platforms, and gameplay that closely resembles what we seen the last time with the tech demo. You know, I get all that from seeing just what they're doing with REVO, because REVO is ultimately the testing grounds for the new VF project. You know, so that's how I feel about it. One last important thing, there was a final teaser at the very end that revealed another character, but it was just a silhouette. You know, and they were in a boxing like stance. Now, who this character is going to be is probably going to be the topic of discussion until the next big announcement. I think it's a couple things. I think this is either a redesigned version of Brad or a modified version of Brad with a different name, kind of like how Stella is like the stand-in for Sarah. Like, we know that's Sarah, but she's redesigned and her name isn't Sarah no more, it's Stella. It's a different character, but it's the same character. You know, it's one of those, or we really have a brand new boxing character. Now, some people on Twitter have also speculated that it's Kiryu, possibly because the last couple strikes they do at the end kind of matches what Kiryu did in a Yakuza game. But I kind of want to take this a step further, because you guys remember the video I made talking about the leaked rumors for VF? In the leaked rumors, they said there wasn't no Kiryu, but instead it was a different Yakuza character from a Japan exclusive game called Tatsuya Ukiyo. What if it's a redesign of him and they're putting him in the game, you know? Possibilities. Who do you guys think the mystery character is, you know? How did you guys feel about the direct? Let me know in the comments, bro. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, and as always, subscribe for some more from the Golden Ghost Cartel. and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Play some more Virtual Fighter.